That's right, ladies and gentlemen, another video on YouTube's planned rollout of more poorly explained content management. I'll try to keep it quick and to the point on what's being said to happen and focus more on my thoughts about the situation and what people, both creators and audiences, can do to minimize the worst case scenario impacts. So, here it goes. In a blog post yesterday, YouTube announced they'd increase and empower the automation behind flagging, shadow banning, and striking channels. That's right, the system that has failed content creators for years by being fooled with false flag campaigns, misinterpreting content, and ignoring actual terms of service violations will be given even more power over your content. Now, there is a plus side. They claim to be working to improve the accuracy of the bot and to continue using machine learning technology to make this happen. Of course, for machine learning to work, you have to feed it human input to help direct its teaching. This is how Microsoft's Twitter AI became an ethno-nationalist Nazi. Machine learning operates on the GIGO principle, garbage in, garbage out, and I have no idea if the organizations being brought on to help are garbage human beings. But, again, the problem we creators have with this is that regardless of the bot's quality, YouTube's system is already too dependent on automation. We have a hell of a time ever getting our voice heard by an actual human willing to listen to our interpretation of the video and the context around it. Nor are we given a chance to modify the offending content. Fortunately, I haven't been a victim of this personally, but damn, do I know a lot of people who have. The bigger problem I personally have is the nudge tactics that YouTube's implementing. For example, if you decide to look up certain topics which Google decides are extreme, violent, or hateful, you'll instead get directed towards curated playlists that offer a counter-narrative to these topics. Never mind that you might be a researcher, a journalist, or someone who debunks extremist views yourself, and therefore need access to the legitimate information. Never mind that their idea of extreme might not be that extreme. But don't worry, YouTube will take care of all of that for you. Just shut up and listen. And from the creator's side of the equation, and one that particularly touches on channels such as my own, is the explicit shadow banning and demonetization of, and I quote, controversial religious or supremacist content. Now, I'm no supremacist, but I think we can safely call some of my content on religion just a little controversial. That being said, given that this is all a reaction to the revelations earlier this year about ISIS recruitment, execution, and training videos being monetized on YouTube, it may be that we are again faced with a case of Google can't word good. When they say controversial religious content, they might mean, we will bomb you in the name of Allah content, or the only good abortion doctor is a dead abortion doctor, saith the Lord. And really have no intent to go after people like Logic or Pragma First, who, you know, say some mean things about the religious fifis. On the other hand, the last time YouTube tried to implement a solution to these kinds of genuinely deranged videos, they ended up placing age restrictions on all kinds of mundane shit like LGBT education channels, skeptic channels, suicide and depression awareness content to help teenagers avoid killing themselves, and even a makeup channel or two. Not to mention the rash of demonetizations on the grounds of not being advertiser-friendly for the most innocuous things. So, even if they mean well, YouTube has shown themselves to just be bad at these sorts of tasks. Really, really bad at it. Which brings us to the question, what can we do? As content creators, we need to diversify first and foremost. We can't just be YouTubers. There's been trickles of movement onto Dailymotion, vid.me, and Minds.com during the last few scares from YouTube, a lot of them led by Dave Cullen over at Computing Forever. And we're seeing that continue with this round. I would encourage my fellow content creators to at least mirror all existing and future content to, let's say, 2 other platforms. VidMe has just launched an ad-based monetization scheme that makes it more appealing choice and seems to be the preferred destination for many content creators this go-around. The fact that the migration to this platform is already underway means that this site could benefit from a positive feedback effect, drawing in additional content creators, bringing in additional fractions of their audience, making them more attractive as each one sets up shop, and eventually making them a legitimate platform in their own right. I'm not advocating for getting off of YouTube altogether, as it's still the single largest platform, and we don't know just how bad this will or won't be, but with ad revenue being reported as dropping anyways, it's no longer as big of a hit to your wallet as a content creator to get your views from other services, and it protects you from just vanishing one day. Which is where we talk about money. Even those doing this as a hobby appreciate financial support that defrays the costs of creating new content and may even give us hope of someday switching from hobbyist to career content creator. And with ad revenue no longer being nearly as viable for medium and smaller channels, we have to seriously consider refocusing on Patreon. Yes, most of us already have one, merchandise, and even possibly exclusive paid content through Minds.com or VidMe. It's the reality of making the work we put into content pay off. And unfortunately, you, my dear viewers, that means putting our hat in hand and asking that you consider supporting your favorite content creators either directly with Patreon, PayPal, or subscriptions, or indirectly by buying merchandise and even just following us on these other platforms. Yes, we have to make these things worth your while, but that's one of the two major ways that you guys can help. The other is, as I've already implied, go create accounts on whatever site your preferred content creators are mirroring or moving to, and follow them there. If things go downhill with YouTube and they get shadow banned or flagged off the site, you'll still have their content at your fingertips. Hell, even if things don't go downhill, it's one more way for you to find your favorite content and to let your content creators know that they matter to you as more than just a dancing monkey on a screen. We may be that, but damn it, we're human too. In this spirit, I've included links to the vid.me accounts of some of the content creators that I follow on both platforms. Take a short bit of time needed to link up with them, if only to reassure the more worried fellas that you've got their back. Thank you all, and have a good night.